Uh, Peer reviewers, before I start the class, I want to mention the book I'm going to use for my class, which is a novel called A King Goes to School. It is written by one of our authors in Nigeria. And then the objectives will be that after the end of the class, I want the student to be able to state the different characters in the passage we're going to look at, and also be able to tell the role each particular character played, and in addition be able to mention different vocabulary words and demonstrate how to use each of these vocabulary words. So I'm about to start now, and my class is ready, even though I'm using a small place in the corner of my room to do the evaluation. Oh, good morning, class. Hope everybody is fine. I'm good. I'm also good. I'm fine. I'm happy to see each and every one of you. You're all welcome. James, Matthew, Joshua, every one of you is welcome. Today's class will be an extension of what we did last week. In our previous lesson, we read the chapter 4 of A King Goes to School. So today we are going to be looking at the chapter 5 of A King Goes to School, and we are going to be looking at new words. I mean the vocabulary words to be used. These vocabulary words will be an extension of what we have in chapter 4. So we're going to be using some reading techniques, which I told you in our previous lesson. I said we have like two different reading techniques. The first one is the extensive reading techniques, and then the intensive reading technique. Can somebody tell me what extensive reading techniques are? Oh, Matthew. Yes, very good, very good. He has given me an example. He said reading zones. Reading zones is a secluded place or a place given aside to students to do what? Study on your own as individual or study together as a group. Which other one? Reading logs. Yes, that's like groups coming together or individuals coming together in form of competition. Which other one? Evaluative exercise. That's good. In form of book reports, presentations, and which other one? Outlining. So let's go to the intensive reading skills or techniques. What can you say about intensive reading? Okay, Sarah, want to say something? Yeah. Intensive reading technique. An example is what? Again? An example is what? Yes, morphology. Talking about the morphemes, the unbound and the bound morphemes. We also talk about the prefixes and the suffixes. Which other one? Discussing the part of speech, like what? Verb, subject, object. Which other one? Active verbs, passive verbs. That's good. Which other one? Jigsaw. Yes, jigsaw. Having students group together, as in having students group together to come together for study. Yeah, that's a good example. Which other one? Close passage. I use an example of a door that is being opened, like anything can come in, and by the time you close the door, I've used the word close to mean the same thing as close passage. That's very good. So, as part of today's objective discussion, as we read along, I'll be making some repetitions, okay? When I make these repetitions, I want you to take note of them. I'm laying emphasis on those words, okay? Those words are the new vocabulary words I want us to deal with today. So just write them down. Then I'll be asking questions also. The questions will be in form of this particular vocabulary words. What do you know about it? Have you heard it before? How can it be used? Okay, then I will make things more elaborate. In what way? We are going to make a form of drama today. Okay, making a form of drama. What we have read, we put it into practice, then we use it. Which other one? Yes, I will use abbreviations. Abbreviations. I'm happy you are mentioning this even before I say it, because I have already said this in the last class. I will use what? Abbreviations. Like the last time I used an example of JNR and I call it what? Junior. I use another one, SNR. Good, senior. So, in the process, I will also be asking you for some feedback, okay? I believe you have done this chapter 5 in your various reading zones, because I give it to you as an assignment. Read it before coming to class, then we read it together and look at the vocabulary words and the usage, how to use them. So I would like to ask from the passage we have read so far, have you ever had any experience of these kind of feelings before? No, we are talking in terms of friendship among people in the society. Have you ever had this kind of example? Maybe somebody bothered you one way or the other from what we have read. For instance, in my own case, it happens like 15 years ago. I was in my office with a friend of mine. So he left the office, then later came back, only to be asking for his wallet. He couldn't find his wallet, so he thought maybe I was the one who took it. Actually, nobody could have blamed him because we're only two in the office. Nobody entered, nobody went out. Only him went out and came back only to be looking for his wallet. But God so good, somebody called him because he had his business card inside the wallet. They called him to tell him that his wallet is missing. So he should come over and pick it up. That was how I came out of that particular mess that day. So we are going to be looking at some parts of this story, dramatize them to mean certain things from what we have read. Okay? So we'll be looking at words like patience, looking at words like endurance, looking at words like self-control, looking at words like humility, looking at words like obedience. So today, as a guided practice, before I guide you, I want to do a model. I want to show a model of where Aki was begging the principal. You know, when a student just comes into the class and the teacher is already waiting, maybe this lecture is supposed to start by 8 o'clock, but this is 8:30. And the teacher asks, Aki, why are you just coming by this time of the day? And it's like, so, the car that normally brings me to school, the car failed to come on time, so I'm sorry. You could see the demonstration of what I did now. The teacher was waiting for the boy to come, and when Akin came to class, he was begging with an excuse. So you will come out and do an example of these words. I'm going to guide you on what to do. So James and David, the two of you will act on what is called patience. Okay, we act on patience. James borrowed money from David but couldn't pay on time. David, we have to show a kind of patience towards James. Okay, then Sarah and Mary. Mary has been at the bus stop waiting for Sarah for almost 30 minutes. Okay, so by the time Sarah came around, Mary will have to show or demonstrate an act of endurance, enduring the time that Sarah has wasted. Then also, who else? Okay, let me use Peter and Paul. Peter will be the teacher giving art instructions, okay, to the student. Then Paul will be the one receiving as a student, writing and taking the instructions of the teacher with obedience and humility. Then the last of all is, let me say, Caleb and Matthew. The two of them will act on this self-control. Okay, Caleb lost something. He thought it was Matthew who took it. Matthew will demonstrate what is called self-control. And after this, I would like you to have an independent practice. Each of you will come out and speak, okay, for 3 minutes. I will give you 20 minutes each for each of you to practice on your own. And after 3 minutes, you will come out, give a speech for 3 minutes. And I will give just only 4 questions, okay, just 4 questions. On patience, on endurance, on humility, and on self-control. You will discuss each of these as you like. Okay, so my assessment will be based on the vocabulary, how you use the words correctly, the range of vocabularies, saying the same thing, but in a different number of ways, using different vocabulary words. So this will be the end of the class. You're welcome. Have a nice day.